Hey there, Delmarva Coast. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday. We are your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo, and as I'm sure you've noticed, today's date is an important one, especially in American history, but world history, frankly, at this point.
Definitely. You know, we like to keep things very light and fun here on Coast Life, but of course, we do want to just take a minute to remember everyone we lost 22 years ago on this very day. A tragic day, one that we will never forget. And we also understand a lot of our viewers remember that day, and some actually don't. I mean, it's been 20 years, so we just really want to take a minute, whether you remember it, whether you don't, no matter how old you are, we want to take a minute just to thank all of our first responders, not just here on Delmarva, but across the whole country.
Yes.
Because we still feel the effects of that tragic day 22 years ago. So thank you to everyone. And also we're with you, no matter how you're remembering, no matter how you're grieving today, and we honor you as well.
Yeah, we were talking downstairs a little bit too. You had mentioned you've been to Ground Zero, actually.
Yes.
What is that like? Because I haven't been there.
Oh, it gives me chills kind of thinking about it. I went just last year, and it's really, I don't know how to explain the feeling of like you're where it started.
Yeah,
you know, where
profound.
Right. It's incredible. It's also, it's heartwarming because at the same time, because you have people visiting New York from everywhere, and I mean, it's kind of like you're just all one people again. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter where you came from. People were there from other countries and other states, and so as tragic and as sad as it was, a lot of tears. Really just a great way for everyone to come together and remember everyone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one thing that you hear a lot on this day is the aftermath, how everybody came together. And it really was, I mean, one people, and not just here. I mean, we had support worldwide of people kind of coming together. So it is something to sort of maybe a message of that togetherness to take with you for the rest of the day. That's
right. And so no matter how you're remembering, how you're honoring people today, we, of course, just one more big shout out to those who fought for our freedom. Yes. Because, I mean, without you all, we couldn't keep things light and fun here on Coast Life, which we are going to still do today, you know, but we just wanted to really put it out there that we're thinking of all of you today, and we're with you no matter how you're honoring.
Yes. So let's get into some of that fun, the lightheartedness, keep things light. That's what we do here on Coast Life. So one of the things we want to talk about, and Reese Witherspoon.
Okay.
Love her.
She's fantastic.
We love her to pieces. And she she was at a conference and she spoke about friendships. And this is sort of the kind of thing that your friendships change over time. And you don't really necessarily see it happening in real time. You maybe sort of kind of do. Like my friends and I had this moment, I guess a few years ago, as everybody was kind of getting married. We were like really trying to make an effort to get together. And one of my best friend from high school, she was like, you know, but once we're all married, like when is everybody going to see each other? Because like this is the only time that we're getting together. And so I was like, we have to make the effort.
Of course.
But those friendships do change over time, and it's not necessarily a lack of making an effort, but Reese Witherspoon was talking about editing your friendships, and she said, especially, you know, if you're 40 and over, you learn this, that you really only need to hang on to the friends who are beneficial to you, because some friends really aren't.
I'm okay with that, and I might be too okay with that, because I think I have a good habit, a bad habit of if something's not working for me anymore, if I see my life on this track and you're just not there with me, I'm quick to be like, we don't have to be friends.
Yeah.
And maybe that sounds a little harsh. I've done it. I've sent text messages where I'm like, hey, look, you're not for me anymore. This is getting toxic. Yeah. Maybe I'm not for you, you know? So I'm cool with it. Right now in my life, I'm like, okay, who's gonna be there for my future kids? Who's gonna be there where I wanna have a good influence, you know? Thankfully, it's a lot of my college friends.
There you
know,
go.
It's like because you went through college together and we each kind of went to that next step in our phase of life together.
Yeah.
But I think editing your friendships is needed. It's not mean unless you make it mean.
Right, and it doesn't have to be. I really don't think it does. I mean, I think a lot of friendships that aren't happening or aren't healthy, they do kind of come to a natural end. Unless the reason that friendship isn't working is because one person in that relationship is dramatic or toxic, and they keep bringing that back to you on purpose, like they're trying to start stuff, and there are certainly people like that who do. So we think unless it's the case, you do sort of naturally start to lose touch with people who just aren't really making the effort necessarily.
Yeah, and you know, well, let's get a little deep here. I will say too, because I've admitted I've cut people off pretty quickly, but I actually remember this happened kind of recently in the last year where I noticed I didn't have a friend of mine who I thought we were cool friends on social media anymore, and then I saw she got married, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know any of this. And I reached out, and I didn't hear back, and I ended up talking to my friends, and I'm like, I think maybe I wasn't good for her. And so she took the step. She didn't let me know. She kind of just ghosted, but whatever you have to do. And that's been some self-reflection where I'm like, okay, it goes both ways. You know, maybe we would never fought.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it was never anything toxic. I just think maybe where I was, she didn't need me, and that's okay.
Yeah,
so,
and that is okay, and I think that's a big part of personal growth as well, and responsibility is you realize that maybe, again, maybe there's not really an actual problem, but it is just you kind of fade away from one another, and that's also okay. It's no one's fault.
Exactly.
But like time goes on.
You know, we could talk about editing friendships, but I wish some of my friends would edit their relationships. Just saying.
Yes. That could be a conversation for a different day. But speaking of friends, we did want to talk about this. The mysterious they, came out with a list of just the best sitcoms. So they went through and they ranked the sitcoms. I know Seinfeld made it in the top 10, but it wasn't in the top 5. I think it was like 6 or 7 as well. It is surprising because that's one of those, like, when you think sitcoms,
Seinfeld.
It's up there. But the top 3, Futurama, one of my absolute favorite shows. Friends was number 2. And The Office was actually number 1.
I'll tell you what, I can get behind that list. I haven't watched any of those actually all the way through. I've seen mostly The Office, a little Friends, this much Futurama.
Yeah.
But I get it. I mean, think about the impact Office and Friends has had on the world. So I get it, and I know there's haters out there who are like, it's not even a good show. Maybe it's not for you, but they all are good shows.
Yeah, or there are people that are like, oh, it's played out, and like maybe by the time you got to Friends, it was played out, but Friends was sort of the blueprint for those sort of adult friendships where you're unattached as far as family goes, but you're still trying to hold on to those friendships. Maybe they grew up together, maybe they didn't, but like How I Met Your Mother, I think was on that list too. It just fell a little bit further in, but like, it's the same show as Friends.
That's very, very close, yes.
Yeah. I think Ugly Betty was in the top 10. I'm trying to remember some of the others that were in the top 10. And that one's kind of a cool one because the family, you know, the father was an immigrant into the country. And then it's sort of, so you sort of get a different perspective. But I think what's interesting is a lot of them take place in New York City.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a lot. You're right. A lot
of them do.
And then there's The Office.
Then there's Scranton.
Yeah, good old Scranton. That's incredible. I can get behind that. I'm not mad at that list.
Yes, but we've got a great show planned for you. As always, we are chatting with our friends at BB Healthcare because it is back to school season. So we want to make sure students are going back to school and aware of wellness in all regards.
Definitely. And also, did you know one of the cutest rescue dogs lives in Rehoboth Beach? The dog is coming on the COASTLIFE couch. So we have that for you today as well.
And you know OC Bike Fest is a huge event on Delmarva. We're going to get some of those details on the way. So don't go anywhere. There's a lot of Coast Life coming at you.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Shell Brothers, and the Parker Group.
Well, we've been talking about it a lot here on Coast Life. School's back in session.
Yep.
Very exciting all across Delmarva. But with that, we all know it can come maybe some illnesses, some sicknesses, even just sometimes going back to school, it can be hard for kids.
It can just be stressful, yeah. It's not always as exciting for all kids, you know?
Exactly, that's right. So that is why today we have a very special guest. We have Ashley Cook with BB Healthcare's School-Based Wellness Centers. Thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
So this is really exciting, I think, for parents and kids to learn about.
Well, because this is a program really specifically for the kids. I mean, parents do a lot of worrying about their kids, but kids also, you know, need to take care of themselves. When we're talking wellness, that can be physical, that can be mental. What does wellness really cover for these kids?
So within the Wellness Center, we have nutrition, mental health, and medical services.
That's important that you include mental health as well.
Yeah, and nutrition.
And nutrition, definitely. So what do you really focus on, and what does your role look like?
So I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and what my role looks like is that students who are not already covered in the school, they don't already have someone that's designated to them, they can come and see me as a layered support for them.
Okay. So when a kid might decide, all right, it is time to see you, maybe what are the things that they might be struggling with or looking for guidance with when it kind of comes to, I don't want to say symptoms, but sort of just like questions that they may start asking themselves and like maybe it's time to seek somebody out.
So it can be a wide range of things. I always tell students it could be something as small as, you know, they just feel more nervous than usual. Maybe they're in their 9th grade year, they don't know anything about high school, or it can be something like they're grieving a loss of someone, or, you know, they feel like they're more sad. it's a wide range of things. Maybe they just need more support. They don't have a lot of support at home, or they feel like they don't have a lot of support within the school, so I'm there to help them along.
That's great. And so once a kid is experiencing these feelings and they go to you, what do those next steps look like? What do you do for them?
So what happens is once they become a member, we then set them up for appointments. So the benefit of them being in the school and this being a volunteer program, they are they can set up however they want to. So if they want to come and see me every 2 weeks, if they want to just set up appointments when they need to, when they feel overwhelmed, they can do that as well.
Awesome. I like you also mentioned nutrition too. I know it's a statistic that you've sort of seen that you know, some kids, their main source of a meal comes from schools and school provided meals. Is that something that you also, how is nutrition covered within this program?
So upon the first time that I see them, I do a mental health screening, which covers medical, nutrition, and mental health. And sometimes they don't even realize that they are getting a deficiency as far as what their outcome looks like. So I might say, you know, are you eating 3 times a day? What does that look like? And then when they realize, when we come to an agreement, hey, you know, something could change, then they set up for an appointment to see the nutritionist.
Okay, interesting. And I think going back to school right now, of course, maybe it's nerves or anxiety that a lot of people are experiencing. But if it gets later into the school year and now it's homework and or something happened with a friend.
Big tests.
Yeah. Can they join this group at any time and seek the services at any time?
Yep, they can.
Okay. And how can they do that? If a parent's watching right now or a kid who thinks they could benefit from this, what should they do?
How to become a member?
So almost everybody in the school has access to those forms that we have, which there's a form that covers all of the years that they're in high school. You just do it one time, fill it out. It gives the student permission to come and see us at the Wellness Center and utilize any of our services.
And Ashley, you know, we just talked about how simple it is. So for everyone who wants to join, which high schools do you service?
For myself, I'm at Sussex Central High School. We also have Cape and Lupin High School, as well as Indian River High School, and then up and coming will be Sussex Technical High School.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so a lot of options and a lot of resources for a lot of kids in the area.
Of course, when a kid is stressed out, the parent can feel it too.
Yes.
Parents always want to know what they can do to help their kids. So take us through the parents' role in this too, if you don't mind.
So we have a lot of parents who are calling in and saying, hey, I heard you were a resource, like what can you do for us? And so what we encourage for them is to get involved with all of their supports when they have teachers or any other services within that school, as well as sign in that paperwork, because that's very important, to cover when that student is in need. And then all of our services are confidential, so we do work with the student. However, we do encourage our students to talk to their parents about certain things, maybe stuff that's tough for them, that they don't know how to. So it might look like me talking to a student and saying, well, tell me what you think that your parent might say, and then let's troubleshoot on how to talk to them about that.
Oh, I love that.
Right? I feel like I could have used that.
Yes.
Just to learn how to communicate hardships, you know, like it's a hard thing to do.
Especially in high school. A lot of people, they think they need to keep things from their parents or they're trying to figure out on their own. So it's nice to know that they're not alone.
Yes.
Great. And so Ashley, one more quick question for you. So if someone comes to you and maybe you notice or the student notices they're having some trouble in other aspects, maybe they came to you for mental health but you notice something else, can they get services in those other medical groups that we talked about?
Yes. Great. So what that looks like is a warm handoff. So what I would do is I would say, hey, I'm going to walk you back to our AA. We're going to set up an appointment. And for our medical services, they can do physicals. They can do acute care things. Maybe they went to the nurse and the nurse said, you know, this seems like it's something more. Let me walk you back down. So we all try to work together to get that warm handoff to make sure the student is wrapped in services.
Fantastic. You've really thought of it all.
Yeah.
Great. Well, Ashley, thank you so much for being here. You know, we were just saying we wish we knew we had this in our high school. Apparently we did, and we
just didn't know
it. So happy that you're here to help spread the message that these services are available to students.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for watching. As always, we have more Coast Life on the way, so stick around.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by BB Healthcare.
All right, Coast Life, as we've mentioned, it is back to school season. Kids are going back into the classroom and they're getting those books out, which is exciting and fun for a lot of people, but if you struggle with reading, you could be struggling with dyslexia. So here on the COASTLIFE couch to tell us more about her own personal story and a new method to help you if dyslexia is something you're dealing with is Hillary Summerbell. Welcome to the couch.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah,
so
we're so excited
it.
to have you. So tell us a little bit, dive into your story of maybe even discovering that dyslexia was something you were dealing with, something you were up against. I mean, it's really disheartening for kids, I think, who struggle with reading because so much of school is reading.
Right. So bottom line is you learn to read from 1st to 3rd grade and you read to learn from 3rd grade on. So if you don't learn to read, then school is just incredibly difficult moving forward. And so my story is I grew up in Fairfax County near Washington, D.C. And what happens is when you can't read, you get pulled back. Like, so you're kind of like in the slow learners group. The worst thing probably is that it changes your self-esteem. You feel like you're stupid. But actually what the reality is just we process information differently, neurologically.
So what are maybe some of the signs that somebody is struggling with dyslexia? Because I think teachers miss it a lot too, because it's not necessarily something they're looking for.
It's really lack of comprehension and the inability to decode words. Because when you learn to read, you know, all the sounds, the phonics and all that kind of stuff, that's how they teach you. But when you're not able to process it, basically what happens is everything gets just glossed over.
So you've done something though that's really incredible. You're trying to help people just like you who know the struggle that you went through. Tell us what you have done to try to make a difference in people's lives.
Well, by accident, I figured out that if you reformat linear text, it creates ease of reading. And bottom line, it's this. And somebody from Harvard told me that actually what it was is that I used something called graphic organization to help myself learn how to read. I invented it by accident. I invented it because I was in pain. Because I am an entrepreneur. I own Sanctuary Interior Design in Lewis, and I can't read emails. I couldn't read emails very well. And so I realized that I could read in circles without turning the page.
Wow. That's so interesting. Can we show this again? Do you mind handing me one of these?
Yeah,
I just think this is so
well,
cool.
it's actually, that might even be better.
Perfect. Let's take a look at this really quick. So you can see, I mean, you can see clearly on here. So it's just, it's just a story, and normally we would read it straight across, but now it's curved.
Yeah, and I think it's also so interesting that in interior design, it's such a visual field, it's such a visual career, and that's what's helped you read. So this is called the Summerbell Reading Method, and it's basically a tool for people with dyslexia to use to read and comprehend reading a lot better. And something really cool before we let you go is Hopkins University, right? Yeah,
so the Johns Hopkins University for Research and Reform contacted me, and we are engaging in a school, hopefully in the Poconos right now, that they'll do an efficacy study. So right now we have 4 special ed teachers from the Washington, D.C. area who work in the most exclusive private schools who've endorsed it, and but we have anecdotal evidence. So Johns Hopkins will do a 300 student study with 150 of them reading linear, and then 150 of them doing Summerbell for 12 weeks, and then they're going to be collecting the data. So they're very interested because they've never seen it before.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
And that was like a super cool thing because they called me. Which was pretty neat. I was excited about that.
Yes, when kids are studying and future teachers are studying the Summerbell Reading Method, we'll get to say, hey, we know her. So where can kids actually get a hold of maybe this tool right now?
So it's actually, there's a Chrome extension. So it's, if you go to the Google Web Store, you'll see the Chrome extension. It's right there. It's free. And that's actually what we'll be using with Johns Hopkins. But secondly, the app, which we've spent 9 months developing, it's a big deal. It converts 95% of the websites on the internet, and it's all adjustable. So like if the arc, if you like it tight or you like it big, you can adjust it. So that's actually my tool for distributing it is the app. And we're going to the International Dyslexic Association Conference in 4 weeks in Columbus, Ohio, to launch the program.
That's fantastic.
So
exciting. Hillary, that's amazing. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing
Thank
about
you.
this. I mean, it really
Thanks.
is life-changing work for a lot of people out there.
You're very impressive.
Yes.
Oh, well, it's my passion. It's my give back. I
can tell.
I'm excited to bring it to the world.
Good.
That's
so
awesome. Well, we're excited
Okay,
for you.
thank you.
And we're also excited to bring you more Coast Life, so stay right there. We'll be right back.
All right, Leah, you were in my car with me the other day.
I was, yep.
It might be time for me to get a new car.
Well, I'm not going to say that every light was on in the vehicle, but there were quite a few of them that were all ding ding lit up.
It's just a couple, so we're starting the process. That's why I'm very happy to have our friends with Pittsville Ford here with us today. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Because you guys have a great way that people can look at some cars, look at some trucks, and have fun while doing it.
Absolutely.
Tell us what's coming up.
So Thursday, September the 14th, we're having what we call a Built for Your Business Expo. It's going to be from 6 to 8, and we're going to have a ton of vendors there. I mean, this is going to be something that's going to be our first year doing it, but going forward, this will probably be our annual event at Pittsville. So I mean, it's going to be pretty huge.
Definitely. What can we expect there? You said it's going to be big, probably an annual thing.
So we have actually the biggest commercial inventory, Rob, that we've had in 2 years on our lot. So, and more trucks coming. I mean, we're constantly getting inventory daily. So along with that side of things, we also have vendors that are going to be on site, including Redding, Dejana, Thermo King, Linex, Sound Effects, which is one of our business partners. So it's going to be a pretty big event, plus some food trucks to fill your belly while you're there, but y'all get to look at some of the awesome inventory we have in stock.
Yeah.
Food trucks, if that doesn't get you there. Just saying.
But especially for commercial vehicles, I mean, we're certainly part of a business that requires to drive a company car, a vehicle that can get you all over Delmarva, and coastal Delmarva. So how important is an event like this for commercial businesses, and people are curious to check out some vehicles?
Absolutely. Like Justin was saying, there was this inventory shortage for 2 years or so, and so now that the inventory is starting to ramp up, and Pittsville's got a ton of commercial inventory now, whether it's the restaurant business where you need refrigeration trucks, or a transit van for storage and moving, or you've got landscaping trucks as well that we now have available to you, and you even got a roll-off vehicle coming
Actually,
too.
yeah, so we are going to be one of the first dealerships on the Eastern Shore that is going to stock a roll-off truck. So it's in production right now. Hopefully we'll have it before the show starts, but if not, it should be there in a couple weeks, hopefully.
What is a roll-off truck?
So a roll-off truck is a 550 chassis that has a dumpster body on the back of it. So it actually can take dumpsters off, put them on, and move it around for it. But it's going to be something that's going to be productive going forward.
See, these guys know their stuff.
Broaden our spectrum of business. So
I gotta say, I have 2 kids, so my son would probably want to at least see that, even if he's not going to be purchasing a truck. So you guys can obviously bring families out too. So.
Yeah.
That's
a
a
fun
good
family-friendly event. Because
Definitely.
I mean, lots of kids love cars. It's such a cool thing for them to see them up close and personal.
For sure. To your point too, like even a TV station, they might have a fleet of SUVs, right? So we do know there's a customer for that as well, and so we'll have that available. And Justin's extremely intelligent on all that product knowledge, and we're actually gonna have people from Ford Motor Company there as well. Great. So from a commercial credit perspective and a Ford Motor Company perspective, they'll be there for any Q&A. And we're just ramping up now. We've got a mobile service van, so when you do have that fleet, that service van can now go to your business and help you out with the service too. So that'll be on site for
so that
questions.
way, if you have a flat tire in the parking lot,
you'd be shocked how often that happens.
Yeah.
And it's aggressively comparable to what it would be if you bring it into the dealership to see us. I mean, we have no problem coming right to you and doing your service right there in your driveway. So it's something, and on the fleet side of things, I know a lot of business owners go job to job during the day. They don't have time to come in to see us. So the benefit of that is when they're after hours, when they've got downtime on their vehicles, we'll go to their fleet and we'll service their fleet right there on their property.
That's incredible.
This event is really just a great showcase for all of the resources that you guys have for a lot of businesses.
Definitely, yeah. And it sounds like maybe if you're not looking for a truck right now, you don't know what you need actually until you get there.
Correct.
You should just go and see.
Check it out.
Yeah, they'll tell you what you need.
It'll be a fun event again, 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursday night. So we'll have a lot of vendors to this point, and we'll be having a lot of fun.
Perfect. Just I know you just recapped the time and date, but just one more time, place, everything, so people can write it down.
So Pittsville Ford, 7155 Friendship Road, Pittsville, Maryland. The event time is going to be from 6 to 8. You want to show up a little bit early, we'll be set up early. But we're hoping right now projected over 100 people there.
Great.
So this is going to be hopefully a big event that's going to push forward into next year.
No doubt.
It's going to touch base on a lot of things. So like Rob was talking about when we talked about in the beginning with the inventory problems that we've had over the last couple of years, transits will actually open up so where you can order a transit going forward starting Monday. The F-150 line starts on Wednesday to where you can order a 24 F-150. Super Duties are open right now.
Nice.
There's a lot of anticipation going forward with new Fords. But we are up 56% year over year from last year. So commercial's leaning in the right direction. So we want to put it out there to businesses that this is what we're doing. We're changing the game. So.
Yeah.
That's right, you definitely are. Yeah, you're right about that anticipation with Fords, definitely. So if you guys have any questions, I mean, who better
These
to
are
talk
the
to?
ones. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you both so much for being here, and we're looking
Absolutely.
forward to this being an annual event.
Yep.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, anytime. Hey, you guys, stick around. We have more Coast Life heading your way. If you have ever wanted to feel super cool, okay, the coolest I've ever felt was at OC Bike Fest.
Yes.
I'm going to set the scene for you. I'm at OC Bike Fest. I'm just hanging out. I'm covering the event. Some guy says, "Do you want to sit on my bike?"
And instantly, you were the coolest person in the world?
Instantly, yes. So to tell us a little more about this cool event, we have Chase Michael with us with OC Bike Fest. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, so happy to talk about this because all jokes aside, this is a really fun, really cool event with amazing bikes. So just if someone hasn't heard of this event, what can they expect?
So we are a motorcycle-centric festival with music and vendors and displays that you probably can't see anywhere else in the area.
It's cool because you always know OC Bike Fest is happening just by listening to Coastal Highway all day. Like, you know when they're coming because you're like, oh, it must be Bike Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly. One of the coolest things is like when I leave in the night and I still hear people going up and down the road. I mean, that's one of my favorite things to hear.
It's amazing. So how long has this been going on? What's new this year? For people who have been to OC Bike Fest before, what can they expect?
So we are knocking on the door to 25 years with Delmarva Bike Week, which is in Salisbury, and then OC Bike Fest started 10 years later, and we've been centered around the inlet and the convention center, and then obviously the stadium out at Salisbury. But what to expect is like a great week of everything that the town has to offer, but also what's going on with the event, and then obviously our lineup.
Yeah, so let's talk about the lineup a little bit.
Yeah.
It's one that I'm super excited for because I know my guys, the Struts, are going to be there, but who else is going to be performing at OC Bike Fest?
So we have the Moonshine Bandits and Jasmine Kane for a free kickoff concert on Wednesday the 13th. On the 14th, it is Billy Idol and Joan Jett. Friday is Shinedown and the Struts. And then Saturday is like every motorcycle rider's like dream concert. It's Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top.
Yeah, it is.
That is going to be so fun.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, too, there's often giveaways, things people can win at OC Bike Fest.
Yeah, so I mean, you can win concert tickets. I mean, you guys have done some giveaways for us.
Yep.
And there's plenty of ways to win that way. But also on site, once you're there, we do giveaways from the stage, throw off stuff like that, T-shirts and that kind of stuff.
Such a blast. And I'm sure like real bikers are probably like, Paige, come on. When I made that one joke. But it really is fun for people who maybe have never even ridden a motorcycle before. So how would you encourage people who maybe they're not bikers, but why should they still come to this event?
So, I mean, yeah, just because it is a motorcycle-centric event, I mean, we get a ton of local people who come out. They come to the concerts, they go shop the vendors at the convention center and the stadium. There's just so much there, and then also what the area itself has to offer. So.
Definitely. It is a fun way to kind of wrap things up in Ocean City and just enjoy the town, but also just enjoy an event that's really unlike any other.
Yeah, it really truly is.
Right.
I know if you also listen to some of our radio stations, like The Beach, you may be able to win some tickets to those concerts too.
If you unfortunately don't win though, Chase, how can people get some tickets? What should they do if they want to go?
So ocbikefest.com, just click buy tickets. You can buy single day, 3-day, they're available right now. You can also get VIP. If you want to upgrade your experience, you get front row, you get catered meal, things like that, some swag, things like that.
Very cool. And can you get tickets at the door?
You can while they last. So I can't guarantee it, but you can buy them now online.
Right. We also heard, and this might be a little bit more on a personal note, that you were recently married.
So the 30th, I get married.
Yes. To be married.
Yeah, so September 30th, yeah, very soon. So
Well, congratulations.
Straight from this event, basically into a wedding.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, now
Are you going to ride in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should.
I do. That'd be awesome.
Since we're getting personal, is your fiance like, hey, I'm planning a wedding and you're planning OC Bike Fest?
Basically, yeah.
Nice.
So she's like, do you want to have any part of this planning? And I'm like, I'm trying so hard.
You're like, if you need motorcycles, honey,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, you know, if you need portalettes and fencing and tents, I can order that. You can order the napkins and the
That's awesome.
and the plates.
Well, congrats on both the event
Yes.
and
Thank
your
you.
upcoming wedding, of course. A lot of fun having you here. Just one more time for everybody, in case they forgot, when, how can they get tickets, where is Bike Fest, all the deets.
So you can go online now to buy tickets, ocbikefest.com or delmarvabikeweek.com. Either one will link you directly to tickets. It's Wednesday is the free concert at the Inlet. That's the kickoff party with Moonshine Bandits. And then it's gated Thursday through Saturday at the Inlet. Wednesday through Sunday, vendors are open at the stadium and the convention center.
All right, hope you got that. If not, ocbikefest.com. Yep, you can check it all out there. Awesome. Chase, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, guys, we will see you probably at Bike Fest, but we'll also see you in just a minute because we're staying right here. We'll be right back.
You're watching Coast Life, and if you look right behind me, we have some interesting characters added to the show today. And we are at Barn Hill Preserve in Frankfort. And right beside me, we have Zach Bova, the brand manager. So, Zach, you guys have an extremely cool event happening on September 16th. Let us in on it. What's going on?
Yeah, so we have an event called Brews and Roos. It's a craft beer festival, and you also get to come in and see the kangaroos. So after you visit with the kangaroos in the walkabout here, you get to get a taster glass and go around to over 20 different breweries and sample as much as you'd like.
Yo, I think that's absolutely cool and amazing. So how did this even come to mind? It's so unique, and it's very different for stuff that happens in Delaware. So how'd you get this idea?
Yeah, so I mean, everyone here really enjoys obviously animals, but then we figured, hey, well, how can we have a really fun event? And you know, so happens that craft beer festivals are kind of big, and we all enjoy that as well. So we thought we'd get some live music, some awesome food trucks, and invite everyone here to sample some craft beer and hang out with all of our animals.
Nice. And you said there's going to be a lot of craft beers here. Can you name a couple of them? How many are going to be here in total?
Yeah, sure. We've got Maspillion, Big Oyster, we've got Dewey Beer, Dogfish. We've got all the big names and then a whole bunch of other ones. Autumn Arch is coming. We've got Buzz Meadery from Berlin if you're not into beer and you want mead. Beach Liquors is going to be here with whiskey. We've got Dewey Crush, of course, for cocktails if you're not into that too. So lots of different varieties, lots of different flavors for everyone, and we just want everyone to come out and have a good time and hang out with our animals.
Nice. So we're having some Brews and Roos, guys. You already saw the kangaroos. And he also said that live music is going to be here too. It's a great mix going on. Let us in on that.
Yeah, sure. The live music we've got the Rogue Citizens, which is a great band, super funky and a little bit of a alternative rock kind of vibe. And then we've got Roast John, which is a really good jam band. So both of those will be playing all day long. And then we've also got food trucks too. So food trucks from Taco Rijo, Smash Mouth Burgers, and then a pizza chef named Rosario, who's going to be making handcrafted specialty pizzas.
All right, so if someone is interested, I know a lot of people are probably hanging on the back of their seats right now, super excited. If someone's interested, how can they get tickets? How can they come to this event?
Yeah, super easy. You visit barnhillpreserve.com, and if you go under special events, you'll see Brews and Roos, and that's it.
All right, easy enough. So if you guys are interested in getting a little taste of some animals and a good drink, definitely come to Barn Hill Preserve in Frankfort, Delaware. And what's a good website they can reach as well, or social media?
Yeah. So we're super active on social media on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all the platforms. And also barnhillpreserve.com is our website. We keep that updated as well.
All right, guys, you heard it first from Mr. Zach. If you are interested in this awesome event, please go to their website and their social medias. There's more Coast Life on the way.
Look into those eyes. And just try and tell us that that is not the cutest rescue pup you ever did see.
Prettiest eyes.
I know. And they belong to Sky. That is who's joining us on the Coast Life couch today, along with her mom, Carlene Harper. Now, Sky is in the running for People Magazine's cutest rescue dog,
That
correct?
is correct, yes.
So tell us a little bit about this contest, how you entered, and a little bit about Sky.
I'll start with the Sky part. She was rescued by me back in late March. I was just looking through rescue dogs based on my neighbor just rehoming a dog a month prior. And I saw this lovely little picture of the cutest puppy ever with these blue eyes that just caught mine. So I went up to see the rescue agency and take a look at the puppy with one of my friends. And I'd said to Lynn on the drive up, I didn't bring money, no checkbook, no cash. There's no way I'm gonna like make a decision today. So 10 minutes later, after we get to the rescue agency, I am asking if there's a PayPal, if they take it, if they do Venmo, if there's an ATM machine. So of course Sky came home with me that day.
Oh my God.
And we've been together ever since.
That's how it happened.
Yep, and I think the funniest part of this is just thinking that she was a bearded collie mix when I first saw her profile, because that's the dog that I actually had right before I got Sky. I lost her about 2 years ago. And when I finally brought Sky home and everybody was like, what's in there? I'm like, I have no idea. She's my patchwork puppy. I decided to do DNA testing on her, and she turned out to be about 40% Husky, 13% Labrador Retriever and miniature Schnauzer each, and about 6% Australian Cattle Dog. She's definitely a mix of a lot of different breeds in there.
A lot of energetic
Yes,
dogs too.
absolutely.
I was gonna say, how old is she?
She turned 8 months on the 5th, so a couple days ago.
Oh my gosh, you're so sweet, and she's so well behaved.
Well,
Here at
thank you
least.
for saying that.
Yeah, she is.
Her best.
So cutest dog, cutest rescue dog.
Yes, so-
we would give her our vote, but
Of course.
So how did you get involved in People Magazine's competition?
Well, I subscribed to People, and my sister was down visiting, I guess it was back in April, and that's when the contest entry page was in the magazine, and I jokingly said to Donna, I think I'll just enter her and see what happens. So about 2 months passed, and I got an email from them on August 4th that she was being considered for the contest, and you know, I couldn't tell anybody, so it's the first time I've actually kept a good secret. And just filled out some background information and submitted some other info that they requested. And on, I guess it was August 20th, I got the notification that she had made the finals for the top 10. And that went live on August 25th for voting, and she appeared in the September 9th issue.
Wow, so that's where she is now. She's in the top 10 of cutest rescue dogs, our very own from Rehoboth Beach.
Yep.
So how can people vote?
Easy to do. Any device, your phone, your tablet, your computer, you can vote once a day per device. And the website is very easy. It's www.people.com/rescue dog contest.
Easy enough.
Yes.
And just look for Sky and submit your vote.
And we'll definitely link her photo and that info on our
thank you.
socials.
We
so that you can
appreciate
vote for
that.
Sky every day until she's our cutest dog.
How amazing. Do you know if any other dogs from Delmarva are even in the top 10?
No, they didn't give me any information, and even when you get online, you can't tell where the dogs are from or you know, who their owners are, none of that. It's strictly all about the dogs.
Well, representing Delmarva, Sky, that's amazing.
Yep.
Yes. Well, we know that Sky probably has a busy day as well, but we'll get ready to let you guys go. But one more time, where can people go to vote, and how long do they have to vote for her to be People's cutest rescue dog?
Yep. The link to vote, again, www.people.com/rescue dog contest, and voting is open once a day from any device until September 22nd.
You got it. I know you guys have your phones. Just go vote while you watch Coast Life.
Please vote.
Yes, incredible. And we can't wait to have you back when Sky wins cutest rescue dog.
We'd be happy to come back. Thank you.
Yes, #1.
Yes, so make those votes now. We're going to take a quick break, but Coast Life is going to be right back.
All right, Coast Life team, we hope you had fun today. We had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
As always.
How cute is Sky?
Sky is the best. Oh my gosh, definitely. And we have a lot still coming up this whole week. So make sure you tune in here at 4 o'clock every day this week. Hey, well, of course, one more time, we want to give a massive, cannot thank you enough to our first responders, to our servicemen and women, especially today. You know we love you every single day. We appreciate you every single day, but today especially. I know it's a hard day for
a lot of people. Yeah, a lot.
But, locally and across the nation, so
yeah.
Thank you, and we are just happy that you joined us today.
Yes, but we did sort of want to mention one more thing about Sky, the rescue dog, so we end on a happy, cheery note. The winner gets some dog food and some money, and Carlene is planning to donate both. I mean, they get money to donate to a shelter, or they're a charity of their choice, but she's choosing the shelter from which she got Sky.
Yes.
And the dog food as well, I think she was looking to donate to, which is really
a year's supply. It's incredible. So make sure, if that's not enough incentive, I mean, Sky, of course, is cute, so let's go for her for being cute, but
hometown represent,
yes.
you know.
But if Sky wins, could do some good locally.
Yeah.
For a lot of rescue pets.
Yep.
Incredible. Well, don't forget, like I said, a lot more coming up this week, so thank you for joining us on this Monday. We'll be here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with you.
As we always are, but it's time for